Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back on FORZA Motorsport 7 in the all new PTG Audi TT Cup. Yes, this car is something a little bit different, front wheel drive like I've been driving a bit on FORZA Motorsport 7 in recent weeks, but there is one big change for this series for me personally. We are going to be taking this on the wheel. Yes, I've finally decided I want to try and do a bit of FORZA on the wheel, see how it is, everything like that. And this seemed like a good place to start, you know, completely new car, something that I've never driven before. And yeah, I really wanted to jump into this and was looking quite forward to it at the end of the day. 10 rounds taking us to pretty much the end of February across obviously big famous circuits around the world. We are actually racing at Nordschleife in this series. Hockenheim is this week, the opening round of the championship. Then obviously we're going to loads of different places around the Formula 1 calendar. But yeah, on the wheel though, it's going to be interesting. It's certainly going to be very different to on the pad. I somehow still managed to sneak into A lobby, the very last person in A lobby there, and I was about a second and a half off where I'd probably be on the controller, so certainly, you know, there was a bit more pace to find on the wheel, but ultimately I was fairly happy in practice. You know, I'd limited practice, everything like that. I was fairly happy with, you know, up to fairly respectable speed we'd managed to get in this car. So yeah, we have got the first race here at Hockenheim, 15 laps ahead of us around this circuit. We are going to be going straight from the grid in this series. You can see using the cockpit cam as well on the wheel. It's lights out and away we go. They're getting off to a fairly standard start, pretty much even to a lot of the cars around us there. You can see we've got N340, I'm not too sure how to pronounce the rest of their name, just in front of us as we head down in towards turn 1. There are a lot of contact just in front of me there, and you know, first time on the wheel, I was always going to be a little bit cautious through the first couple of corners there. So we've got Great Kabuki just in front of us as we head down in towards turn 2 here. Still just braking nice and early through the first few corners of this race here as we head out on to the back straight from there. No progress made up off the start of this race there, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted to keep it clean and, you know, wanted to try and survive these opening couple of races of the night. And when I say, you know, this is my first race on the wheel, this is my first race on the wheel. I haven't done, obviously I've done about 10 laps worth of practice, but I haven't driven on the wheel on FORZA, I think since 2015, early 2015, so yeah, it's been quite a while since I used a wheel on FORZA Motorsport there. It might have been early 2016, but there or thereabouts. So yeah, it has been a very long time as we head out on to this little straightaway here. I'm going to look around the outside of Kabuki already here as we head down in towards the stadium section. Are we going to be able to make it work there? He takes a lot of grass on the inside, and yet we do get around the outside, and we're now up into P16 of the race there. So quite happy with that one. Struggling a little bit with the positioning, unfortunately, as well. One big thing that you'll notice from this video is FORZA's proximity arrows aren't the best in the world either. As well, sometimes, you know, you'll think there's a car lunging up the inside and they're still sort of 40-50 foot back, which can be rather frustrating at the best of times. But yeah, as we come through the final couple of corners though, we have survived the opening lap. We've made up one place on Great Kabuki there as well, and you can see we have got GDR Burrow just in front of us as we head out onto lap 2 in this race. You can see trying to apply the pressure to him over these next couple of laps to see if we can try and make any sort of move work there. As you can see, running a little bit deep towards the grass there as we head down in towards the final sector of lap 2 here, getting as close as we possibly can through the corner. They're almost pushing him through, and you can see he makes a little bit of a mistake there as we head down in towards the stadium section. And once again, obviously, you can see we made that move last lap there. He dips a wheel on the grass on the inside there. We do get to the outside. Not too sure if there was a tiny bit of contact there, but yeah, we make the move work, and we're now up into P15 of the race here. So making, you know, slow but steady progress in the early stages of this race. You can see we've got SVR Birchie next car up the road now, as you can see, onto lap 4. That haven't actually changed to Kragadon, was now the car just in front of us in this race. And yeah, at the moment, you know, just getting to grips, working out sort of where the wheels are and everything like that. Obviously, it's the first time I've driven FORZA in cockpit cam anyway, obviously, because, you know, why we can use that on the wheel here. We can see we're closing up slowly but surely to the back of Kragadon as we head towards the end of lap 4 here, through in towards the stadium section. It seems to be the only place I can make overtakes work, and yeah, we've done it again there this time round. 3 different overtakes through there in 3 very different styles as well. But yeah, now up into P14, and at the moment just capitalising on other people's mistakes here as we now reach the halfway stage of the race here. There's going to be contact up the road between a couple of cars. That is Mercy Phil, unfortunately, out into the tyre barrier there, and I think there's going to be another car as we head through the final couple of corners. So I think it's PTG Coops as we head through the final corner there. You can see one car dart off the racing line there. I think he was planning on waiting up for him but I'm pretty certain, yeah, Mercyfell had to dive into the pit lane there. So it's going to be another couple of places for ourselves now up into P12 of this race there. So yeah, still making slow but steady progress in the early stages there. And now onto lap 13 we go. You can see we had slowly closed up the gap to SVR Birchie just in front of us here. We were struggling a little bit with top end speed in this race as we break now down in towards the next chicane there. SVR Dad's actually making a bit of a mistake as we head through the corner there. And you see Cragadon now trying to potentially line up a move on myself once again here, but we hold firm this time around. They're just about giving the room on the exit of turn 2 there. We got ever so slightly better run down the back straightaway here as we head down in towards one of the biggest braking zones on the lap there. We've got N340 making a bit of a mistake just up the road there. Cragadon thought for a split second they might have tried to have a look up the inside, but couldn't make anything work this time round here. And yeah, we were just trying to get that bit closer to Birchie just in front and potentially line up a bit of a move on him. But obviously at the moment, just sat in the mirrors, just watching Cragadon, making sure he's not going for anything that we weren't expecting, everything like that. And, that is one of the difficult things in cockpit cam as well as actually in front wheel drives on Forza. Generally speaking, they're very, very much just sort of, you have to go for the dive bombs at the end of the day there. So we've got to be a little bit careful for that. But yeah, Cragadon makes a couple of small mistakes there, so it was allowed us to close up to the rear of Birchie once again. They're trying to avoid the sausage curb on the inside as we head out onto the back straightaway here. Birchie actually makes a little bit of a mistake there. Not too sure what cost him that run as we head down the back straightaway here. You can see he's going to come out just in front of us there. He's going to hold the inside line as we head down in towards the hairpin here. Nice and late on the brakes there. Trying to hook it up right around the outside of Birchie here as we head out of the corner there. And he's going to try and give us a bit of a squeeze there, but we are still on the inside. A lot of contact as we head down in towards the next corner there through the 93 right. But yeah, we do make the move work there. Birchie's going to try and hold the nose up the inside. We have to give him a bit of room on the inside there, and that allows him to get a run as we head down in towards the stadium section there. We have got a much better run on the exit of the corner there. Just being a bit careful that he's not going to try and go for a bit of a lunge there, and that's exactly what he does. So we're given the room once again on the inside there. He's still side by side, I think, as we head down in towards the final few corners of lap 14 here. But yeah, we finally make the move work, and we now up into P10 of the race here with just one lap to go here. So quite happy as well with the progress we've made in the first race there. Through the final couple of corners we go. And yeah, one lap to go of this race, N340. And I think that's SVR Brains? CT Stats even, I should say, just up in front of us there. But yeah, through the final couple of corners we go. It is SVR Twitch that takes home the first race victory of the night there. Not too sure what's happened to GDR Burrow as we head through the final couple of corners there. But yeah, it is coming home for P10 in the first race of the night there. I'll certainly take that from the back of the grid there. And yeah, good progress in our very first race on the wheel there. Happily, everything ran all smoothly at the end of the first race there. But yeah, it is SVR Twitch that takes home the race victory ahead of Solar and Sweden Pro there. Martin in fourth ahead of Warwick, Jonesy, Brains, Stats, N340 and myself. We round out the top 10 there. And I mean, when we look at our fastest lap, only, less than a tenth of a second off Twitch, only about half a second off the top guys there. So we definitely had some good pace in the car, but obviously it's just about trying to get it hooked up lap after lap. And I think, honestly, the biggest thing is just going to be trying to work out, when you can squabble with other cars and when, you've got the clear air and everything like that. But yeah, it's solid opening round to the night there. Obviously, each week is 2 races of about 20 to 30 minutes in length there. So yeah, that's the first race of the night, survive P10, and it's going to be a reverse grid for the second race here in this round at Hockenheim here. Hockenheim National, for those of you who obviously hadn't guessed at this stage there. So for the second race of the night, we are going to be starting up in P8 here, and that's going to be interesting off the start. And, it's going to be a really big test to see how we can fare in the opening stages of this race, because, it could be quite difficult. Potentially people going for lunges, obviously quicker cars behind us, everything like that. We could be in for quite a tough and testing second race of the night here. But we are ready to go, though, for the second race of the night. And yeah, I must say, really enjoying this Audi as well here. As we get ready, though, on the grid for this second race, starting up in P8 for this one here. Hopefully we can try and get a nice, good start. Obviously on the wheel, it should be a little bit easier than try and manage the throttle slightly better than everyone else, and that is exactly what we've done. Short shifting up into third gear now, and we've got a much better start than Birchie and Cragadon here. As we head down in towards turn 1, they're just going to lock up ever so slightly there, foresight Birchie wide, and unfortunately we're going to get stuck to 2 cars on the inside there, get forced back across the track, contact with WRT Sweden Pro there, and that was really unfortunate there. And yeah, we find ourselves back to the rear of the field there. I'm pretty certain, unfortunately, obviously, where we don't have the wheel in the cockpit cam there, I was trying, I was on maximum lock to the left there, and unfortunately Forza Physics decided it would take over in that situation there and drop us to the rear of the field there. And yeah, I did apologise to everyone after the race, but I don't think, you know, there was much we could have done in that situation there. Unfortunately, yeah, just Forza Physics decided they would play havoc at the start of the second race of the night there. Luckily for us, though, we picked up no damage in that situation, so I guess we can take that as a slight upside there. There is a mandatory pit stop in the second race of the night. It can be served at any point in the race there. So yeah, over the first couple of laps, we would just be capitalising from people having to pit from early race damage here as we head towards the end of lap 2 here. N340 just in front of us there. Even more cars pitting at this early stage of the race there. Solar pretty much from the back of the grid up into P6 by the end of the first couple of laps there, clearly avoided the carnage of the start of this race here. But yeah, N340 just in front of us there, riding the curbs through T1. It's really, really satisfying when you do get it right through there. But you can see just going a little bit defensive there. We're going to try to look to the inside in towards the braking zone, but not quite as late on the brakes there. Don't really have the confidence to go for the dive bombs there. Struggling a little bit still with the front locking, which is obviously something I haven't experienced in a long, long time on Forza Motorsport there, obviously having used the Elite controller for so long here. But yeah, down in towards the final couple of corners of lap 3, you can see we're going to have even more cars diving into the pits there. N340 does lunge it in, as well as I think Jonesy and I'm guessing a couple of other cars there as well. Their dads as well diving it in. So we're back up now into P9 of the race here, all over the back actually, of SVR Brains here. So at this stage of the day, I was hoping, you know, if we could get a bit closer to him, what we basically have to go for the alternate strategy. You know, if he pit, we'd stay out. If he stayed out, we would have to pit in this race here. And you can see just making slight gains there. He makes a bit of a mistake as we head out onto the back straightaway there, but he actually gets quite a good run in the end of that. And you can see by the end of lap 5, yeah, we had closed up the gap to Brains here. So like I said, we're going to have to go for the alternate to him there, and he actually dives it into the pit lane there. I didn't think he was actually going to on the end of that lap, which gives us some clear air once again. Even more drivers starting to pit, and by the end of lap 9, we'd actually close up to the back of SCT stats there. So we would dive it into the pit lane for our one and hopefully only stop of the night here. But yeah, a very, very slow pit lane here at Hockenheim. So we're going to fast forward our way down and see a few more cars. Solar was effectively now in the net lead of the race, so he's been able to pull obviously quite a big advantage over ourselves. So as we head out of the pit lane here, you can see we're actually going to come out in quite a bit of traffic as we head out of the pit lane there. You can see N340 gets back past us, and luckily just behind him we do have a little bit of a window to Birchie just behind, so we can slot back in, try and get the tyres back up to temperature, everything, oh excuse me, like that here. And yeah, back out in this race in P12 here, and I was hoping we could try and get a bit of a cut on SCT stats there, and yeah, that is exactly what we were able to do here. But over the next few laps though, we would just be sat trying to get closer to N340 here. A big train starting to form just up in front of us here, and I would definitely take 2 P10s in this race. So you see N340 makes a bit of a mistake through turn 1 there. He's going to go defensive there down in towards turn 2. We have a look around the outside there. We tried to make the switchback move work on the exit, but he just gives us a bit of a squeeze as we head out onto the back straightaway here. And I can't quite work out if we have slightly better top end than a lot of the cars around us here. You can see N340 just losing out a little bit of speed as we head down in towards the hairpin there. We're going to try and look to the outside nice and late on the brakes there. Can we potentially make it work? No, slams the door shut through the corner there, and this is always the thing with front-wheel drive. This is why you got to try and make the lunges work up the inside there. I thought about trying to go for something in towards the next corner there, but just didn't have the bravery under the braking here as we head now down in towards the final sector of this race here. Are we going to be able to get close enough to try and go for anything there? Making a little bit of a mistake, running a little bit wide as we head down in towards sector 3. Could we potentially open up a move there? No, N340 gets a really good run down in towards the stadium there, and unfortunately for me, we just get a bit too confident on the outside there, dip a wheel into the grass there. SVR Brains is going to be able to get back past us in the race there, and yeah, an unfortunate late race mistake at the end. Luckily it didn't cost us more places and time than it did at the end of the day there. But yeah, Solar comes through to take home the second race victory of the night, and I'm pretty certain take the lead in the championship there. But we come through the final corner. It's going to be P10 and P12 in the opening week of this series there, and yeah, I will certainly take that at the end of the day there. It was Solar though that took home the win ahead of, I think it was Jonesy, Twitch in third, Sweden Pro, Mercy Phil, Warwick, Kragadon, Martin, Dads, N340, Brains, and myself there. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video nonetheless. Do get yourself subscribed if you're new around here and you do want to watch more from this series. Something a little bit different. Let me know whether you use the wheel on Forza or not. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys next time.